I'm in the Premier League, nigga, I'm my day. But what's it? We're still on the stamina again, yeah. I'm over the head, I'm stopping in it. I'm in the perfect place. I'm in the perfect place. I'm in the perfect place. Pull up and stick and wait, yeah. But he gon' pay the weight. Nigga, this snake. Snake, wait. Oh, 400 shadows all night. And the plain things ain't on a 19. Yeah, I got 9 knobs, yeah, 9 times. There's something in her, ain't right. Man, we all on that dodgy, yo. Baby mama, baby, not she, yo. It's my love, not me, I love it. I use love, but I don't want to touch her. Yeah, it's sweater, that's why my son up. Yeah, my buzz, yeah, this is how I buzz down. Really, you know, on my city, everything is good, cause I said so, you get me, yeah. Winning, W on plenty, yeah, get the spinning, yeah, get the ball in, yeah, get the show in, promo everything, bitch, take it to OG, oh, 400 shadows all night, and the plain names ain't on a 19, yeah, I got 9 knobs, yeah, 9 times. There's something in her, ain't right. Oh, 400 shadows all night. And the plain names ain't on a 19. Yeah, I got 9 knobs, yeah, 9 times. There's something in her, ain't right.
Hey, it's your boy Clay Code. Welcome to another presentation by me. Uh, what I want to start by saying is you might find that a lot of my videos might come off as me ranting. Uh, but I feel like as a career individual, I kind of feel like I got the right to. I got the freedom to speak, and you know it's a blessing for that. I want to start off by saying, man, as of like the last couple of days, I've been feeling like a lot of ways, mostly having to do with like this failure to launch program that they got going on with us. Like meaning in the fact that everybody talk about it, everybody already know that the government got technology that like gotta at least be 200 years ahead, and they withholding it from the people, and giving free access so the people can have, knowledge of these technologies that can be beneficial, like powered vehicles and different types of propulsion systems. Uh, you know, this is one of the main things, like why it went from UFOs, unidentified flying objects, to being UAPs, because they know how they just they know how to all this technology from these unidentified flying objects that come from different places. They got into these things, and then they re-engineered the technology, and now what they say is what they sometimes in these congressional hearings is the question of if if the question comes in if it's the United States with these UAPs, or is it other countries like China or Vietnam, or um, different countries like Iraq and has a lot of alien activity or UFO activity, and a lot of this weird unidentified flying object or unidentified pilots um, is the fact that hold on, I kind of lost my train of thought. Like I said, this is a rant. So uh if you're looking at this thing, this phenomenon, they're saying like, you know, it was a bell that rang off when Donald Trump said that he was creating a space force. I said, man, I was at a particular time in my life where I had already had come to awaken, and I've been awakened for a long time. Uh, so I was like, man, he's going to space, and it's already been like encounters that certain people have encounters. Um, you know, and that's one of the things about it. Like now, when we talk about aliens, you know how it's been pronounced. It's like really in the aspect, the technology sense comes from the spirituality sense. If you understand your spirituality, it really guides you to be able to make coalescence in between technology. References is always going to go back to Nikola Tesla on how his discoveries and all his knowledge, what Nikola Tesla attributed it to. He said he got his knowledge from beings that were living on Venus. So in any regard, it's not really our perception. He comes in and says that if you want to know the keys to the universe, think in terms of 3, 6, and 9, right? And this is becoming like a foundation of truth. If we turn onto the frequency, tune into the frequencies that he left behind, we can really we're really awakening this time. And it's a shame, like I will always say that somebody as genius as and genius and free giver as Nikola Tesla was, you know, it's a shame that somebody like that dies broke and spoken ill of, you know, and alone. That's like really crazy. They destroyed this man all out of greed. Like when we say that we should be like at least 200 years ahead of what we are. And then you have the question of like, we got AI. So the AI we got right now is nothing like the military's AI. They artificial intelligence. Military artificial intelligence is something to think about, because I remember as a kid, right? Uh, as a kid, I was seeing a lot of things that really didn't make sense. You know, uh, how how they were creating holographs, how people will project holographs. How are you projecting a holograph and you're able to see it with the visible eye, with throughout all of the light radiation that we get. You know, there's a lot of light radiation with the blue light, the red light, and you know, just on the color spectrum. We have a lot of light radiation, but you're able to have a holographic image throughout all that light radiation. That's something peculiar that is always just been in my mind. Um, and then you come to find out that I'm living in 2024, but they were thinking about the same thing in the 1200s. In the 1200s, they had the same idea. So when we say that, like, you have to kind of say that there is nothing new underneath the sun. Like everything is as it was. You know, it's gonna keep on repeating itself. But it's all about learning from our past mistakes, and it's like I'm gonna continuously say it. Like we set ourselves up to continuously live in a world of cruelty, and it's like, man, like and and my epigenetics is just like a thing of cruelty. Cruelty has happened. You know, I have connections to people that that threw themselves overboard rather than being a slave in this country that we say is for the free, the brave, and it's really crazy. They, you know, but I'm glad that I'm here in 2024, and like reaping all the fruits of our ancestors, because it's like, dang, I feel as though that we a little bit closer to what we call reparations as my people go. We're a little bit closer, um, because there's a lot of key questions coming up. Um, a lot of a lot of people are bringing some stuff to attention, and I just feel that there needs to be answers for some of the things, because when we look at things called aboriginal humans, aboriginal people to the planet, right? There's just such there's that's where the inheritance lies. It's like somebody comes around and steals your birthright. They have to tell you, they have to ask for your permission, right, to steal your birthright. It's like you can't a vampire can't come into your house unless you let them in. That's like the rules. And on the back of the dollar bill is like kind of like how they slap us in the face. It says God has favor us for we are favored for the undertaking, and it has the pyramid with the eye. On notes Cortes, God has favored our undertaking. Uh, like they say, um, I think that the quote is from Tropoli, to Tropoli, I guess to all the way to D-Day. That's the Marines saying what the Marines say. So they trace their heritage all the way back to a war in Tripoli, and Tripoli just happened to be right there, upper, upper Africa. It's like um, a stealing of inheritance is another thing. Like we go back into the ancient days. It's not, and we're saying like, damn, the people that's leaving these tablets, these things in stone. The people that left things in stone, like words in stone, I don't think that they really giving those people credit, you know. And there's unique evidence to show that who these people were. Like it's because they left evidence of who they were. This we black. I'm sorry, and it's that divine heritage, right? In any regard, it's like, oh, you get you we getting truth, right? That I'm being honest. Like growing up, growing up, that I was always wondering, and I will always wonder, like, I understand like all of this stuff that goes on in America, but what if we would never have been enslaved? And like I always would think, like, what if I would have been born in Africa or something? Like how how much different, like like if certain things just didn't happen, because now I feel out of place of where I am right now. I don't like. I just feel out of place. It's a good thing. Oh, I can't say it's a good thing that's going on. You know, um, you know, all of the things that's been going on since the beginning of history is still going on, which is kind of treacherous. It's like, dang, people still killing each other. People still, out here raping. People are still out here, you know, doing a lot of scandalous stuff. And you would think like, dang, we're living in 2024, and we about like when you talk about like evolution and stuff like that, we didn't evolve to a point where like if we was to ever go like get a time machine, go back to the past or something like that, like these people will really be we would it'll be a crazy thing. Like imagine we go out there with cell phones and think, and then, oh my goodness, cell phones. Well, imagine being trapped in the past and you trying to charge your cell phone. Yeah, I just need to charge my cell phone, man. I can show you everything. Imagine that. You have all the keys to change the world, but you forgot your charger. That's an actual funny concept, right? Um, when and I like whenever like a lot of master teachers they say you forgot who you were. You forgot who you were on arrival. You just forgot who you were, and then you just trying to reestablish what purpose you are trying you to serve, right? Man, and it's like if we have all of this intelligence compared to like almost everybody, it's us versus everybody. And it seems like we winning, like it appears like we winning against everybody else. You know, uh, we have a unique intelligence that that hey, we look around, we ain't really got too many friends to really communicate with. You know, you know what I'm saying. We'll probably be fighting them too. We'll be probably killing. Yeah, that's one of the biggest things. Is if we do come in contact with the alien civilization, it's gonna be like the masses of people going to not. It's gonna be kind of hostile because we've been predictively programmed for a lot of things, for so many scenarios of what might happen, just with the understanding of how time evolves, right? They've painted all many scenarios of what could happen as this line goes down. You know, uh, some of the predictions, like because it was like predictions way back then of what the world's gonna be like George Orwell, right? He's talking about, you know, a dystopian future. You know, uh, if you ever read the book The Giver, the uh that that dude lives in a dystopian future. Um, Soylent Green, if you ever seen that movie, that's another one. Soylent Green, where the guy discovers you because they find out in the future. We need to find food source for everybody to eat. You know, and that's like one of the big discussions right now. What is the food of the future? Like, what are we going to? What is a sustainable way to eat where you get all your nutrients, and that's what we're on the path to doing right now. Um, but in this movie, Soylent Green, uh, they had a certain type of protein bar, uh, and there's a guy doing the investigation basically, and he finds out what Soylent Green is really made out of, and it was into he didn't he knew he had to tell somebody that it was made of people. Uh, and you can't put it past these people because they say, quote unquote, that they could take human meat and grow it in a lab. But my question is like, who asked anybody to go out there and make human meat in a lab? Nobody asked y'all to do that. That's not something that should be winning a Nobel Prize. Nobody should win a Nobel Peace Prize for creating human meat in a lab to sell it on the market for people to consume. That's really crazy. And it's a big obsession with us through the scope of this obsession with eating flesh. We have a big obsession with it. We have big gatherings in the celebration of eating flesh. Thanksgiving. Oh, let's gather together and eat flesh. And then you really look at Thanksgiving for what it is, and you find out that it's a slaughtering of people. Thanksgiving, you know, you find out that all the way from Halloween all the way to Christmas or all the way to New Year it's a real holiday. That's why they call it the holidays. It's a real thing that has been celebrated for almost 1,000 years. They didn't celebrated the same holiday for the same 1,000 years. They changed it up and said it was Christian. It's really wild because it starts off with Halloween out of all things. And then it's everybody dressing up and characters and masks, all types of goblins and ghouls. It starts off like that, and then you put in that little intersection of Thanksgiving, and then you hit Christmas, and then you hit New Year, and it's like, what does New Year symbolize? It's not even a New Year. It's New Year is screen. How to confuse people out of like just inheritance of natural things. Like, it's a natural thing for certain things, but there's certain things that are just unnatural. These holidays, dang, and you feel kind of out of place when you say, I want to. Well, if I'm gonna celebrate anything during those times, I want to celebrate some Kwanzaa or something like. But you get looked at kind of crazy, like, oh, you Kwanzaa, yeah. Y'all got y'all stuff. Well, you know what I'm saying? Why not? Why can't I jack my stuff? Cut. And it's a reckon. I had to deal with this whole thing in my life. That at the end of the day, it's a real product. I'm a product of real colonization. and then in my mind, since I've been a product of colonization, why not go out there and colonize other things, right? You know, who's going to be the first black man to put a colony on Mars? Couldn't you say that it's the guy named Clayton? The things about it, like, different types of rocket propulsion. You have ionic thrusters. You have other types of things that could potentially get you there. You know, when you talk about the sense of satellites, we can propel things by light. You feel me? What they call it, a photonic laser can shoot things made of lighter than air. So you have aluminum, filled with helium, and then you just basically shoot it, and then the aluminum is going to keep on reflecting it out, through space, and that's a method of potential space travel, that's been studied, you know. So, like I said, I don't know, we as like this culture of people call themselves woke. It's a beautiful thing because where does these understandings come from? The real painting of that third eye, right? That the third eye, that deep understanding. You don't just have two eyes, you got three eyes, and you have the understanding that these three eyes that I have, are awakened. They're all seeing. You know, uh, and on doing that and having a real, like, real awakened, just the state of me, just who I am, and on multiple levels. Like, damn, I'm in a major state of awakening. Like, this process of what we call life and transitioning to other things. A lot of people out there will continuously say the same thing. Every day is a new day. Every day you a new person. You are not the same person that you was yesterday. You know what I mean? Every second you having cells and bacteria die off, and then you have your cells rejuvenating itself, all all in 1 second. And understand that your cells your cells within themselves, these are trillions of iterations of yourself that you carry in. There's always a different way that you can go. There's always another timeline that you could be headed down. Just and it's all about what you do in your mind. It's all that's the whole thing. Thought. If you having a real good guided thought, you're gonna arrive at good guided destinations. If you have a a a thought pattern of just continuously, like, recklessness, then the path that inevitably gets made for that, people like me in the past, that it's for a road of destruction. Even in the little things that we get by with and ignore, and then it comes back to haunt you. So those things are those are you know I could get a lot deeper, but I don't want to. What I'm trying to stop doing is completely crushing people's belief in what they believe in, because you, the understanding is just like, man, I'm a product of colonization. This that they got set up for me was not mine. It's not. That's their inheritance. That was there. It's put in place to control you. It was not put in place to be the control of me. What controls you? Like your inheritance was from, you know, to be honest, from caves. You are bound. You are really bound by Europe. That's why there's so many. That's a little box, and there's not a lot of them comparatively. It's because they're in a little box, that's and I have to see it, because you say, am I the master or am I the subservient one? You know, I love what Jay Z says, and a lot of people don't like Jay Z, but like, this is what Jay Z says: I can never sell my soul. They sold their soul to me. You feel me? Peaceful teaching the rooming. You mouth off of the camera, but I'll make a solid movie. Hold up. No civilization is conquered from the outside until it destroys itself from within. See, you can. Why would, like, he just gave you bars that's going to forever, further your understanding every time that you say something or speak something. You feel me? Another thing is, like, when Jay Electronica say, you never swallow slanderous lies for the devil's satisfaction. So why am I going to take in lies? You feel me? It's all about this thing where you have to keep everything lighter than a feather when it comes to when you take things to heart. Everything's light as a feather. You know, look, I'm not gonna look. If it don't apply, let it fly. It don't apply to you. If it don't apply, let it fly. It's you, it's a thing. We live in a place where it's a narcissistic environment. It's becoming a very, very toxic environment. You know, uh, like, again, my people are Africa. There was a time in Africa, because it's proven. You know, we a nurturing environment, very nurturing environment. Africa was a nurturing place. You know, it's like a whole shifting. You know, it's sad. Like, the Romans can come in, do whatever they want to, and people don't understand how the Romans still fit into the world that we live in today. People don't get this, man, and I'd be like, bro, the main factor that you gotta look at, the one of the things that where we get romance from, the thing about romance, and I'm gonna keep on telling this, I'm gonna keep on making this a known fact. The romance that we talk about, that we try to spread to everybody, everybody tries to spread romance, but it was between two soldiers. It's romance between two soldiers. That's what it is. You have alpha male, you have beta male. You feel me? That's what they that's what they had. They got statues all around Europe with with their stuff. So everything in the ancient days, the Romans is still here today. Romans is still here, live and well. They they, they right at the doorstep. The American flag is in jeopardy based off of the Roman ideology of, this. um, it's a real thing. it, when we talk about the things that's left in stone, when we talk about the things that's left in stone, it's set in stone. So if I'm looking at this stone structure, and this stone structure is put here to be a thinking, because me myself, I am an artist. So whenever I look at a structure, you are putting things in particular areas to paint a more deeper picture about something. You're not just putting this work of art up here just to be bullshitting, you know. Oh yeah, I'm about to freestyle. I'm about to freestyle on this one. Nah, you putting this for a particular reason. But throughout the history, what we have people destroy, they destroying evidence. That's one of the big problems. They destroyed a lot of evidence throughout history. They don't like something, they're gonna destroy it. It's an identifiable marker, to who like, as much advancing that it takes. Like that's why I push self advancement. I'm trying to heal myself of wounds that are so deep. The wounds get very deep, and and it's like I'm always seeking to try to forgive. Like I feel, as I feel like I'm closer to forgiveness. It's like I be taken aback from forgiveness. It's like, because I cannot fully forget about, you know millions of people that were lost without real justification. You know, and to say that, like, me right now, I won the lottery. I won the lottery where I'm at, what I get to witness, what I get to experience in life. I won the lottery. You know, honestly, I that's where it's like I don't want to complain about anything, because truly I won the lottery, bro. Man, I would not want to really, honestly, I say I want to visit a country, but I don't want to stay in those countries. Like I I could go to, like, the one thing about home, where you are from. Man, I go to all these other cities, but nothing feels like being in Dallas, Texas. Nothing's like that, right? I know if I go over to Africa, because I done met Africans. I don't think it's gonna. I'm probably not gonna be feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Like the flies and the smell. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna be feeling that really. Um, in particular places. The other thing that is wild. Go to India. Oh yeah, yeah. I want to visit India. I want to visit India. But when you go over to India, it's the same thing. It kind of stank over here. Kind of smell like a lot of bull. You know, go to China. Go to China. No, no cap, bro. Like they really got like China's something else. But nothing. The whole thing, the whole world idolizes the United States of America. Why would the fuck would I want to leave? You know, it kind of leaves you like susceptible to a lot of hate, jealousy, and a lot of things. They go to another country, and I speak out because I think that I got freedom of speech in another country, but I'm bound to arrest. You know, what did you just say? So what the fuck I want to say? Like, and a bold individual, a bold individual will go to like Saudi Arabia or something, and not to start no war, but just be like, hey, for real though, y'all just need to quit playing though. Y'all really need to quit playing. You know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta stop playing. You know, places like Iraq in particular, bro. This what I'm about to put a big expanse in. When we talk about Sumerians and stuff, that's Iraq. So I'm like, that's that's crazy. So the when they got ISIS over there, like it didn't make sense at the time, but when they got ISIS over there, like tearing down all the stuff, they they really messed up a whole boatload of things to be studied. And then be like, many people say the main reason that, and I can't be racist. I'm a black man, so like for a lot of the destruction that is caused by people that happen to be from the Arabian, they say that they from the Arabian Peninsula. They come from the Arabian Peninsula, but they tear down everything because they did not build it. Oh, we're going to deface everything because we did not build. You know, it's a shame, bro. Again, this is a rant. I'm on for 30 minutes. I'm shooting for hours before I stop. So I started with UFOs. Somehow I ended up talking about Arabs, and there's a whole lot of people that capitalize off of my people. There's just like I'm saying somebody need to call it out, right? When and I like a president like Donald Trump. President like Donald Trump, right? He come out here, he say, these people spilling across our border, they're taking black jobs and they're taking Hispanic jobs. Yeah, I be looking at the news like, where is these people coming from? Where did they come from? Is these people just they look different? You got people black as me, then you got Chinese people, just the China the people of Asian descent be really scaring me. Them people coming across the border of Asian descent, that's scary to me because these people be of Asian descent over here with some real crazy labs and stuff where they playing with diseases and stuff. They didn't already have Wuhan over there. You know what I'm saying? It's really crazy. The only way that the last lab got discovered is because the dude had the hose sticking out the door and stuff. Think about how many more genetic labs they got out here just waiting for the time. You know, they look. You start a war with China or whatever. Let me tell you how potentially, you have a super soldier event because I seen a Chinese doctor, doing certain doing uh IVF. He doing IVF. So what his process of IVF is, he take he take a female egg. He put the female egg inside of a chicken egg, and then and then he fertilized the egg. And he playing with all like the genes and stuff. He making designer babies. So start a war with China, you're gonna meet some designer babies. You know the I thought that the Chinese people were short and smart. What the hell is this? You know, um, like people of African descent have a unique relationship with the people of China. Like, very unique. It's very unique indeed. Uh, also with the people of Japan, right? Oh, you can't be no samurai if you ain't got black blood. If you ain't got black blood in you, you can't be no samurai. Whenever they say the Nagamaya warriors, the Nagamaya, this the name that I'm gonna continuously say. The Nagamaya people that went around the whole world. So whenever we have a genetic like so it's a mutation in the genome that creates, what we call like the shorter people, of stature that are able to be, they call it the twelve. So they start breaking off. They short, and then you eventually get, you know Chinese, or that whole thing, you know Cambodia, um, uh, Indonesia, all of those, right? The original people, India, original people, black people, Nagamaya, the Nagamaya, and then so when you talk about Japan, Nagasaki, right? When you talk about Mayans, you feel me? Nagamaya, the Mayans talk about the snake headed people, the black woolly haired people, and that's the main identifier of us throughout the world, is that we black, and we got woolly hair. That is all around. That's the consensus all around the world, and all around the world. What are you going to find? All around the world, you're going to find black people all around the world. Uncontacted tribe. What do they look like? Well, they're black. Hmm. You know, and while I'm stressing the tablet, the seven tablets of creation. The reason I'm stressing it, and a lot of people like want to try to shoot the messenger, right? I have come to an understanding that Billy Carson be talking about some real false stuff. You're gonna find yourself in a trap. But again, right, when we go back to things that are left in stone, right? Stone. Stone is the main identifier. Uh, these tablets of stone, what they're saying, and then knowing that this is some old stuff, bro. Uh, it's not about Billy. I thank him for because it's really exciting when you begin information. It's real exciting, real exciting, and then it's like a problem when you come with the information, you go on telling somebody about the information, right? And then the information that you're getting comes from a false source. So yeah, something that's written in stone. This thing ain't fake. This is real stuff. This is whatever. Me reading it for myself. Me doing my due diligence and reading it myself. I got a deeper understanding of what I got a deeper understanding of really a lot of things about the ancient times and of the Bible. Also, like whenever it comes to the Bible itself, you cannot go upon people talk about no Hebrew, because Hebrew don't have that many combination of words that you can be even using to write no Bible. Um so it's Greek. You gotta go to the Greek translation. The Greek translation, it has, you get a way bigger picture of what everybody's talking about. But I'm continuing, the setup of Genesis 1 and 1, it comes like directly after, you know, when God, so it's like when God began to create, he was hovering over the face of the deep. Now the deep, right? That is not deep, is Temu in translation, right? Temu. And whenever when you read the seven tablets of creation, it was a war between gods, right? Because that's the main thing about the ancient times. There was not one god. There was multiple gods, and the main consensus is that it's a breaking off. You feel me? It's almost a stealing away. And I like whenever the Quran talks about like the main identifier of how you can figure out who's Satan, the one who exalts himself. The one who exalts himself, that's Satan. You feel me? And then like if you're amongst all other gods and you exalting yourself, that and then you be like, I'm a jealous god. So like, damn, like that tendency. If you even see it in a human, it's kind of like off taken. Like you jealous and and you exalted yourself amongst the other gods, right? And because you do have you have the ancients. So it's always a story of the brothers in the beginning. It was brothers, you know, and they have a father, and like Odin and Thor, Odin, Thor, and Loki. So it's the same. It's that exact setup. So you have the father, then you have the storm god, and then you have the trickster god. That's all throughout like the same thing. Um, and you can find that because it's like the word Elohim is the first word describe a God as you. Elohim is the first word. So um that means God's plural, more than one gods, right? And you get the understanding that these guys was not what we would call the real God because these guys were of a material world. You know, um, what you will find that the description of this stuff, how things are happening, it's planets. It's planets. And it kind of goes down. So planets slaying each other, and then being set in certain places to be able to take control, right? The whole thing about where a question will be is whenever it says they have made man and we have made man in our image, the original creation, we have made man in our image, right? Uh, those humans, it was not just one man that was made with the original humans. It was seven. It was seven males, seven females. Those are the original people, and then Adam was created, right? And all of it is about bearing this labor that needed to be more, because the first thing that is punishment is Adam's purpose for him to toil in the fields. You know, the original humans were not being able to they weren't able to really like have children like that. They were suffering to have children. The womb was was closed. Well, that's what they say, that the womb was closed to them. So you know it is what it is. When the first thing that Cain go do, he go run on to the other people. That's first thing that Cain did. Well, they gonna kill me if they see me. No, they ain't gonna kill you. I'm gonna put a mark on you. No, but then there comes like another understanding of things. From that point on, we're talking about what this is a deep understanding of this whole situation, about this whole thing about the UFOs, the UAPs, and everything. You have a bloodline of people that is carried on from a particular place. You know, you have a particular bloodline that's just carried on, and they say they tried to do everything to preserve this here bloodline. And held this theory for a couple of years. Like whenever it comes to spirits, like I guess I'm like I believe I'm of high order or whatever, man. But the reason they got to keep this bloodline is because they got to have bodies to incarnate in. right? They gotta have bodies to incarnate in. And that's why whenever a celestial event happen, I'd be going off the rails trying to warn people because I know a little bit more than what I should know. Uh like because it's a whole thing, man. I'm gonna go deep because like I don't know if I can because I wouldn't be able to upload it. I don't know, like uh but it's a real thing. People be like when we don't wrestle against flesh and blood. We against high orders. There's certain things. Now, what I can make a reference to, if you ever watched the movie Last Exorcism, right? No, it just brought me to tears, man. I got teary out whenever I just brought it up because like this where that thing come from. It's like, yo, and if you watch Paranormal Activity, right? Where did the paranormal activity come from? You down the line, you start finding out that these people was a part of a big old like a big old like cult type stuff. Like they like and you realize that these look like what you would say like I think it's Old House on the Prairie or whatever. It's, I don't know, that's way older than me, but uh they really look like on some pilgrim type stuff. So like back they got this thing going on back since the pilgrims. You that's what we're gonna come to find out. We're gonna find out a whole lot of secret things about the country. They don't want to bring it out on the forefront, but like they part of secret orders. Like Joseph Smith. Like, come on, man. That's a big thing. Like all the people that came over, like that created these doctrines and teachings. They created these doctrines, like all of these people in America set up these different types of churches, these different types of doctrine, and it becomes like a it's a war between these occult members. You feel me? Uh, But what you find out in these two particular like movies, right? In these particular type of movies, like you find out that these type of movies, it have a lot to do. Like you have to understand, like where's the Vatican with all this? What does the Vatican have to say about women having children in the forest and things like that? Like and the children ain't really regular children. What 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 does the Vatican have to say about that? And that's a real thing. We've been told before that when somebody have an abnormal baby, it's been said that this has happened before. That people, this is the scary thing about it. Now, when I say about celestial events, and celestial events happening with the moon. Like I don't know how to like try to describe it. Like to try. I don't. I'm gonna leave it open for people to try to read between the lines of what I'm saying here. Like for thousands of years, these people studied the stars for thousands of years, and they kept this knowledge because they would have been persecuted if they would have let it go. The stars, the alignments, the numbers behind the words of the language that they created, English, right? The Vatican has a catalog of everybody's birthday. because the he's the ordainer of souls. It gets very deep. This religious order stuff is really crazy. So it's evidence, right? That if I can predict a certain person being born on this day, this person here is going to serve a certain function, particularly to us, based off of where they were born at, right? In the stars, in the constellations, right? Now, when you pick at all of this stuff, right? Like both in paranormal activity and in paranormal activity and the last exorcism, right? These is women. You get me. These is women. That are in this order and they are birthing children, right? That are not normal. Like particularly in the Catholic Church, you know, they have monthlies. That's what I've been avoiding to say. So uh, you get me. It be a real thing. It be a real thing. Now, the whole thing about these people in this bloodline that they try to keep in a certain way is that it stems from the Canaanite bloodline, where you get the word cannibal from. So you know, it's an immense amount of power that I'm missing. I'm trying not to talk about. It's give it to the wrong people. It's treacherous. It's a treacherous thing. Uh, because it's a thing where you can align yourself with the planets, and the planets sing a certain type of tune. I have all of the frequencies of the planets from Mercury, Venus, Earth. Earth is about Earth is about seven. It's about like it's about 7 hertz. Uh, then you have Mars, you have Jupiter. You have the frequency of these planets. You align yourself with the frequency of these planets, and you commit certain acts in the odds of what is called stars, intermediaries for us in the heavens, right? The stars look upon us, right? Uh, and uh, it get wicked. Uh, like your birth has been prophesied. We prophesied your birth. Your birth has been prophesied. You're the prophet, right? Understand what I'm saying here? Like that's a crazy thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, and what orders will you find like that they will proclaim a prophet in these days and time? You have a Muslim. Would they declare that they have a prophet? No, they committed with Muhammad. Um, will it be the Christians? Will the Christians? No, the Christians expecting it. Who would it be? You say we have a prophet. The same people that been kept keeping up with the same thing that I've been saying, right? The people in these secret orders, and it's all tied to each other. Like you're gonna, if you anybody knows symbolism, it tells a story. If you're a deep historian, you connect the dots to certain things, and it's like, yo, these are the descendants of an ancient bloodline. You can't see you're not gonna see when they say hiding in plain sight. Your everyday people. You know, Look, people be getting on people you should have been expecting him. But then whenever it's somebody so connected to the deep ties of the very foundation of who we are, the people that is supposed to represent us nation worldwide, globally, cosmically. If an alien civilization come in contact, they're gonna be coming in contact with these people that's doing these very things that I'm talking about in my mouth, or saying, trying to paint a picture between the lines. You know, it was really crazy. I'm gonna say before before the eclipse, right? It was really crazy about the things that was somebody snuck actually into Bohemian Grove, and they went through all of the things, right? And you find out that these people go out there and really go out there, and what their ceremony is basically to to mock. It's a mock ceremony that they say. It's a mock ceremony where they pretend to throw a baby into the fire. Okay, that's the mock ceremony. I lie to you not. If you look at the last exorcism, when she has the baby, the first thing that they did was hold up the baby and then throw the baby into the fire. And then whenever the baby got thrown into the fire, something came out of the fire, ran into the forest. And where does a lot of suspicious activity happen? Where you got skinwalkers happening and things like that. Where the that's the scariest subject about the skinwalkers. It's like in the forest. You can argue the fact maybe it's just a instinctual thing for you to have your mom playing tricks on you. These animals aren't regular animals. Your mom probably playing tricks on you or something. Let it be that. But when you have symbology of certain things happening, like at Bohemian Grove is in the middle of the forest. You know what I'm saying? Middle of the forest. And whenever it comes to these, like a group of people that I'm particularly afraid of, and I believe that everybody should be afraid of, like, these people in a little bit. Uh, the Nordic people scare me. I'm very scared of the Nordic people. Um, and kind of like the things that that come that from that way. These people, like, dang, a Viking, a Scandinavian, a Vandal. Nah, I don't want to deal with that. It's a very scary situation. Um, because you like what they call the new age movement. You start seeing like these same people that I bring up, like, damn, you got kind of like inheritance to that stuff. So they start showing off and flashing, they heritage, right? They tell us, they show us their heritage, their heritage, right? They tell us, like, this is what this means in Greek. This is the statue that we have. This is the practices that we practice. You know, it's really wild. While they're promoting their heritage, they're trying to tear down our heritage, right? So they be like, well, and as an African American, it really it don't be feeling it, I feel heated whenever they try to make claims that no, no, there's no way that black people could be Hebrew Israelites because of this. There's there's no way that the black people could be the Berbers or the Moors or the Tartarians. There's no way. And then in the same breath, right? People hire these people, the higher ups, like Queen Elizabeth, probably would be the last one to say it, or proclaim it that everything that England has is because of black nobility. Now, I brought up a good point whenever I talked about the Queen of England, because the Queen of England was a Druid. What's a Druid? Like if anybody, like if you into like the lore of the Lord of the Rings or anything, a Druid would be like would be what's his name, Gandalf the Grey. He'll be Gandalf. Um, she'll be Gandalf the Grey. She got magical powers. Uh, that that's a secret thing, right? There's a lot of things like that come from that. Um, because how does that still have like a hold on England, or up until the modern day, like that something happens like that behind the scenes, where uh and you have to understand, whenever you carry a scepter as a king or a queen, when you carry a scepter, you know you bestow power, bro. You got to go through certain things to be able to get that scepter. You're not. Yeah, you could be a king with a crown or whatever, but that scepter, you know that scepter or something. uh that's one of the things, like hidden things. Dang, I wish that I could walk around with a scepter, but it would look weird. Anything that like, I feel anything that a black man carry, it kind of seemed like grounds for you to be stopped in this country, uh, and harassed. Anytime that you start showing any type of divinity like that, you be like, oh, I can't carry a can't carry a what is that you're holding? I'm in danger because, be like, I'm a young black man. You know, that's one of the hardest things, like, out here, man. That's the hardest thing out here, is being black, because you have situations like the movie Get Out. Get out, get out. You know what I'm saying? You in a sunken place. And I be feeling it every day. I'm in a sunken place, man. It's a very sinking place. You know, um, I don't, like, my mind works a little bit weird. When you say you're sinking ship, I'm on a sinking ship, man. Sinking ship, screaming MAGA, make America great again, and it's a sinking ship. It's a sinking ship. This thing is, this is the Titanic. They're like, well, what really? Well, we've been going through the last 5 years. This whole thing is a movie. This whole thing, like, the last 5 years have been nothing but a movie. This can't be real. Maybe they did something at the particle collider. Maybe they made a mistake at the particle collider or something, bro. But, like, this shit is a movie, bro. It's a real life fucking movie, dude. People is out here setting their cell on fire, bro. They setting their cell on fire, right? Proclaiming that there's a conspiracy. There's conspiracy about cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency is not real. You know, that's it's really some crazy stuff out here. Like, man, like, this stuff is like really like a movie, bro. Like, bro, there's war out in Israel. Israel is out here. they ain't y'all the same people. Y'all the same exact people. Y'all the same one. 6 million, 6 million Jews. But then 50 years later, 70 years later, 70 years later, a lifetime later, a lifetime later, you out here bombing to pieces the people that gave you the land. Yeah, yeah. Hey, yeah. Come on over here, man. We open you with welcoming arms, and then throughout the time, y'all didn't build the whole. Y'all didn't put these people in a certain zone. You and you build everything around them. Oh, well, we will leave you right there, but we taking everything around you. We own all of this. You know, we gonna we gonna protect you from harm. Oh, y'all do something we don't like. We're gonna turn off your lights. We're gonna turn off your water. We're gonna we you know we gonna cut off your food. We're gonna cut off your gasoline. We and then you know what else we're gonna do to you? We're gonna bomb you. We're gonna bomb you until you almost don't got nowhere. You're gonna have to rebuild every single thing that you thought that you owned. The same people. Hitler. Now I didn't watch the Hitler documentary. Yeah, like Hitler was very brutal to these people off of a suspicion, you know. But there was suspicion about these people before Hitler arrived on the scene. It was where do you think that he got the information from? Because it was already suspicion. Who created communism in the first place? Where did communism come from? And socialism, you know, who set this up? You know, and then there's more and more things that just come into things when we talk about destruction, you know, and you point finger. Look, who created one of the worst weapons that have ever been known to man? A member of the same community, a member of the same community. Total annihilation. But the excuse was this weapon was being manufactured to stop this one called Hitler that involving these people, and they're calling the same people this is happening to make a weapon, a weapon that they knew that could potentially destroy the whole earth, like wipe out everybody. And you still went on with this project, and through carrying on with this project, you're a part of a political organization that is in favor of socialism, right? Now, I want to break down like the Nazis, you know, Ashkenazi, or you know the National Socialist thing. You know, any way you wanna cut the pot. Um, you look at Ukraine. You know, Ukraine bears a particular thing on their crest when it comes to um these people. The sigil of Baal. So whatever Jewish community, I'm gonna say it, that worships Baal in 2024, you know, and it's been exposed that these organizations be having underground tunnels from one synagogue to another synagogue where they transport people, right? This particular sect of of Jews, these satanic Jews, and they you will find that they pride themselves on being satanic Jews, and they look down on everybody else. They look down on everybody else because it's circulating around the Torah and other books that came down through the generations because they were in Babylon. When we talk about Babylon and things like that, we got it's the proof is in the pudding. You know, okay, If you setting up commerce everywhere you go, right? And everywhere you go. This is why you're getting kicked out. This is why they've been expelled from a lot of countries. It's because everywhere you go, you're the one that sets up the commerce. And then all of your trade secrets is in between these only these members. Only these members have this understanding and this knowledge, and so we propel ourselves forward. Like only these people of this sect, so they have the power to create the nuclear bomb, the hydrogen bomb. They can blow up. They can create these things, weapons of mass destruction. That it's crazy. Use this weapon on an unsuspecting people. You know, damn. Why not do that? And it's a thing. You look at these people totally different than what you, because you didn't want to use this bomb. You reluctant to use this bomb on the Germans. Reluctant to use this bomb on the Germans, but when it comes to a race of people that you see as inferior, you annihilate them. In the same regard. Yeah. You know, and it's a slap in our face. It's a slap in the black man's face. Why? Because oh, they talking about us too. They say, oh, curse be to Canaan. They told Ham that you're cursed, and then and they other little text. They go a little bit deeper into the situation. They say that Ham is cursed with the big nose, big lips, elongated, genitalia and big feet. You know, it tried to make it into a joke, but like when genetics come to account, and just about stature, when it comes to stature, I don't really see, like, you know just being honest, right? And then these people say that they're the Israelites, and they're in Israel, right? Now they've made an enemy. They made an enemy of somebody like me, right? Because I was introduced to being an Israelite when I was like 12 years old in 2008. I watched a DVD. It told about the Hebrew Nebo Nation, and from that I had an understanding of a lot of things. Right, then Russia comes about and says the same thing that I've been combative about this whole thing. Very combative about a lot of opinions. It's put me in a lot of particular situations, but I've been saying the same thing in a combative way because an inheritance. Like what they got over there, that's mine. That belongs to me. You feel me? Like, and then they'd be like, damn, it's prophesied. Who was a slave for 400 years? You know, no, no, it wasn't 400 years. Mistranslation. It was 600 years. Hey, don't try to push back. What is due. The good ship Jesus Christ came to America bearing slaves in 1555. Coincidentally, the land of Israel was granted to the so-called Jews in 1955. That's 400 years. That's a 400-year marker. All right. Um, but let's continue. Uh, you have the establishment of the country, 1776, and all of that, right? You have Christopher Columbus coming over. You have a lot of markers that you can potentially say, like, there is an indicator of the time spent. But as known to me, the time where a lot of things was supposed to start taking place was in 2019. And 2019 is where when things were supposed to start taking place, and lo and behold, that's exactly when it started to take place. And it's a 7 year. It's like that. You should have to understand that this. It's like a 7 year tribulation with any type of thing. It's like seven. It works in orders of seven. So you got 7 years of tribulation. So you'd be like, damn. By 2028, something like just go, something's gonna happen. And it's like, do, do I want to be here for that? You know, when we leave, we're supposed to be leaving with 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 good possessions. Whatever we leave with is going to be good if we leave. But if you stay, you like it's like you kind of chose your side because 2030, it's like the big guys. This is their announcement. 2030, we gonna do all of this. So like all of the pushing for people to like people like me that's pushing people to get off of meat. One of the key things is that's going to happen in this 2030 initiative is you're going to be limited on the amount of meat that you're able to consume in a month's time. I believe that it's like 16. You can't eat more than 16 ounces of meat. Uh, it's going to be very crazy, and really, it doesn't really take much to do this. Like, yo, if the price of meat goes higher, you feel me? You're gonna be like, damn, I can't afford this shit. It's a bad thing, you know. Uh, they're trying to say that they're gonna get rid of poverty, bro. So just the other day, or they forced. I got the numbers on this. They're gonna force 250,000 people. 250,000 people are forced to try to make a decision as to what they are going to do as far as living. You are no longer allowed to have, sleep on the streets. Get caught sleeping on the streets, you're bound to some type of criminal activity. So 250,000 people have inadequate living situations, and this is what they're giving people the power to do. They're gonna force them into homeless shelters that are basically, crazy houses where these people that's running them are not. They're not certified in no mental health or anything like that. They some of the meanest people that you ever meet. Oh, so like it's really crazy. You no understanding that we have a opioid crisis going on right now. We have a real like drug crisis, and this drug crisis affects these people. These people are affected by this drug crisis. The overdoses and all of that. The the people that can't really afford their groceries or anything, they're stealing out of stores, everything like that. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna make. They go against the whole idea of making great America great again, right? I was listening to the Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina speak. Lieutenant Governor of North Carolina, he made a very valid point when he was talking about Republicans versus Democrats. You know, it's a thing. Are you out here to protect the republic for which it stands? Or are you out here to protect democracy? You know, and it puts you in a big perspective, because when you say that I'm functioning as like a Republican in sense, it's like you have a certain type, you understand there's a certain type of responsibility that comes with understanding the republic. I live in the Republic of Texas. That's the Republic of Texas. If you know the history of the Republic of Texas, then you understand a lot of the things that goes into, like, man, I'm still gonna stand up with my slave masters, because like they did some real crazy stuff back whenever they was fighting with Mexico. They did some wild stuff, boy. Like, boy, they crazy, boy. They got, look, they cowboys and stuff, man. Look, they ride up on horses and stuff, shoot them down and all of that, right? They're like then you like after a certain point, the history of the rest of the country, like, be like on some BS, like, not that interesting, not that interesting. But like, when you understand the history of this place, the history of this place, yeah, it's just wild. I mean, this land, you might think that is new. This land is ancient. This is ancient land. Yeah, that's what they don't tell you. It's a very ancient land that we live in it. And it's crazy if you can have, you know, it, through this time of all my study, I've been making a like I've been meeting a nexus of, you know, yeah, it's a cross between being this European, the European aspect. Then you have the Native American aspect, and then you have the African American aspect. It starts becoming a whole new thing, because, dang, who are the Aboriginal Americans when they landing in Florida? Who is they meeting? They mean black people. So I'm trying to tell you a particular history about this here Gulf Coast that we live in. This Gulf Coast is something special. You know, I'll be realizing there's a lot of history and where I be at. It's a lot of history. In order for them to form Dallas, they had to go to war with people. They had to go to war with the Native Americans to form Dallas. Where I'm from, I'm where I'm from, Grand Prairie. It's it's a like, if I'm being honest, it's a it's a city built on a lot of dead bodies. Everywhere I go, in its particular stars is still there. The way that they name streets and things in Grand Prairie. So Corn Valley, you have the understanding of, like, where you at, Corn Valley. I'm in the Corn Valley. You feel me? And I'll be imagining that there was a lot of treacherousness that happened, and they always want to paint the Native Americans as the bad guys. The Native Americans and the Aboriginal Americans be getting a bad rap. Man, look, y'all overstayed y'all welcome a long time ago. You understand? It's really funny. Like, y'all overstayed your welcome a long time ago, man. Uh, you been like, if you watch this, it's a thing about, uh, I believe it's 1847. It's a very weird story, of people from Germany people from Germany coming out here to America. And the United States of America granted these people from Germany, you know, large amounts of land, right? And it's a nexus, right? Uh, because the story starts in Fort Worth, Texas. They start the journey in Fort Worth. It cold, it cold, man. They get to traveling. They get to traveling. People is dying. The Germans didn't know how to do nothing. They didn't know how to fight. They didn't know how to hunt. They didn't know how to ride no horses. They brought up over too much stuff. They carried too much unnecessary stuff, making the wagon too heavy. You got you got these little scandalous people that be just riding. You know, you could say the people. I ain't trying to name drop on no people, but you know the people in Oklahoma, going up that way back in the 1800s, man. Treacherous territory. Then they start getting up there to like the west side. They start getting up there because they was going to I believe it was Oregon or somewhere like Wyoming or something like that. But it was going pretty deep. Um, a group of people that claim themselves to be like the law enforcement of this new frontier. They officiated themselves as the law enforcement of it, and they what ended up happening. They murdered they like Indian encampment. They murdered an Indian encampment and killed everybody. And what ended up happening is like it just happened. It was like wrong place, wrong time. You know, like the trail of the wagon trail, like just happened to stumble up on this murder site, and they tracks like got traced by the people. These people was about that business. You know, if you know anything about Native Americans, boy, they catch you, they gonna scalp you don't get a new haircut. You could be rocking a real new haircut after that. Yeah, them Native Americans don't play. Uh, but yeah, it's a real true story, man. That happened. The girl, that like the pioneer, the pioneer, um, girl. She got shot. She died. You know, she was married to one of the Lakotas, the Lakota Indians. You know, um, but it's again, look at that whole story. They gave land to people that not from this country, but they won't do it for us. These people don't. These people don't even. They're not from here. We don't know them. Them is your people. Oh no, no, they good. They good. They get over here. They don't know how to do nothing. They don't know how to do nothing. Them same people today. They stumbled upon oil. They stumbled upon diamonds and gold. They stumbled upon it. You know, it's crazy. But you won't give a nothing for no niggas. I just think it's funny, like about like that people gonna say that's not true, and it's very true. Forgive me, my mama told me. My mama said there's something about how the art works. Maybe she heard this as a conspiracy, but like you want to talk about conspiracy? The 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 way the white people eyes right, they don't see us as human beings. Evidence of this Oh, y'all 3/5 of people. They don't see us as human. That's the evidence that I can tell that they don't see us as human. You know, and where I would find like that's why I'm in love with the ancient times. We were black people living in a golden age. The only ones that ever had a golden age. Ain't nobody really had no golden age. Like times ain't been this good since us. Like since when we was ruling stuff, man. Times ain't been this good since then. Oh God, times ain't been this good since like damn back before before like when motherfuckers was still in caves when y'all was in the stone age, you was in a golden age. Look, they walking around right now. How did y'all build this? How did y'all build this? Hey, bro, like for real, man, it's really crazy. I'm gonna keep on going because like it's an hour 37. I've been making some real long videos because I'm like everybody else. I'm trying to make a connection. You know, um, what I've arrived at. You know, whenever it comes to God, like understand, it's all the understanding. Like God is within. If you find a God within yourself, well, you know, like okay, okay, you know, God is within me. Like, and this is the thing about it is they 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 attached they basically created a system to where they can get a message out of DNA, and DNA basically gave them this message. DNA, God within, eternal. It's something that's reverberated through a lot of cultures. A lot of cultures have this. God is in yourself. Like dang, a mastering of myself. If I master myself, like I can walk on water. If I master myself, I can look up on the ground and find something to heal somebody else. If I understand myself, oh, and that's just the thing. Like the grasshoppers. A lot of people are grasshoppers comparatively whenever it comes to knowledge, and then they say don't do too much. Too much not knowledge, right? I made a thing up yesterday. Um, I was talking about this this thing that's called the oil of knowledge. The oil of knowledge. You can just cover yourself with the oil of knowledge and ordain yourself. You can use you this oil of knowledge can be used for anything if you apply this oil of knowledge. It can heal you. It can bring about good health if you apply this oil of knowledge. You know how to carry on about with good relationships with people. If you have this oil of knowledge, you know how to live in conjunction with this world, not have this world working against you and be in division. This oil is it's almost the most beneficial oil that you will ever find. Like how oil has a certain indication where it's lighter than water. It will always rise to the top. This oil of knowledge. You know, that's the thing. Can you go against this oil? Well, this is not no snake oil. Like I'm telling you, The oil of knowledge. You can produce some really crazy things in a science lab. You can produce a lot of crazy things in a media room. In a media room, you can you can create movies, you can create news, you can create all types of things. This is one of the craziest things. Out of all of that, I could watch movies all day. I can watch the news all day, and it seems like always I'm left with more questions than answers. Right? So on the last couple of days, I've been really focusing on this whole concept. Stop consuming things from the outside. If you the consumption, I've reached that point where it's like the consumption of things from the outside is where a lot of the damage is going to be done because you find answers when you by yourself. By yourself, you just through that process of who I am and that self discovery journey. Like I could watch a movie, I could watch the news, and then it doesn't really help me. It's a distraction. That's all it is because the news is not really news. You know, something else crazy didn't happen. Another person has had a mental health breakdown, or somebody else has did something crooked, conniving. You know, oh, let's distract everybody with a light hearted story about puppies. You know, distractions, and that's one of the things about it is like, why would I can't put on a mask? Like, I have to mask that I'm not distracted. I'm very much awake. I'm not distracted. Like I'm paying attention, and that's one of the craziest things is like I'm paying attention to all the minute details of this existence. Like few people get to experience what I experienced and live to talk about it. Walk out literally almost unscathed. The only problem is I have severe hearing loss from this social ordeal, and I have tinnitus. But the surreal experience that I live on to be able to talk about. Like the sensitive person that I became in this process. I feel everything. I feel a lot. And they say they look at me like I'm uncontrolled. It's like I just feel a lot. The tinnitus in my ear. It's like whenever you come to the understanding that everything works in frequency. So if I have this ringing in my ears and I'm testing out all the frequencies of the planets, I'm testing out the frequencies of the resonant frequencies and things, and my frequency is just a little bit higher than all of these other frequencies. That's a special place to be in. You know, uh, so many times with the problem with being exposed to this high frequency for I'm saying going on 5 years since December. Well, I woke up December 27th, 2020. Since that time on, I've had this ring and I've been exposed to this high frequency. like, and then I have identified it as my when you would read, right, you would read that God makes a covenant with people, and it's like a covenant, understanding that only you and God have, only you and your creator have this understanding with each other. So this high frequency is like almost as a covenant between us, because my experience, people can go about and all of that, but me, whenever the whole situation of like, yo, you need Jesus or whatever, like, at the end of the day, my connection this covenant that I seem to have, that wherever I was, oh yeah, I'm going back to that place, and that place that I was a place of peace. And that place that I was is something that I already studied about. Whenever we okay, now you start getting into the mystical science of the Jews, right? When you get into the mystical sciences of the Jews, I was studying this in 2018 before my accident even happened. 2 years before that, I was telling people, yo, I didn't went up in dimension, no cap. I was seeing things at a different angle from a fifth dimensional aspect. Everything was fifth dimensional. You feel me? And I elevated. I'm out here way elevated. I'm having the deja vu that I was having through this whole process before 2020. I was having deja vu like crazy. I was having very crazy experiences, and I was feeling like there has to be like the deeper understanding. So that's what led me into the Jewish Kabbalah. When we start talking about the Kabbalah, right? They say that you have to learn the alphabet backwards, be able to say the alphabet backwards or whatever like that, and then you start unlocking a lot of things, and then you have to be able to say it without ceasing, and things like that. You have to go through a whole process to gather. Then it comes, then a real spiritual experience for me happened. It's whenever you standing in front and working with the tree of life. When you're working with the tree of life, right? This is my understanding of the tree of life. If you're ever seeking the tree of life, what do you have to do? And it's always the same. You have to die to thyself. You have to go through a path of death, right? How many people know how to walk a path of death? It's so that understanding from that day on was, yo, it's a path that I gotta travel. You have to walk through the path of death. Then you are met with the gate. And then you have the ability to enter through the gate to be able to get to the tree of life. And once you be able to in order to be able to at that tree, and being in the tree of life, you have to be sitting at the hand of God. You got to be on either on the left side of God or the right side of God, but you got to be at the hand of God to be able to take part of that tree. So dang, the year of the vision, 2020. I got 2020 vision. I can see. I can see before the year end. It happened to me. 2020. I woke up. I didn't couldn't talk. If you see my tongue cut. You know, I got like a tube down my throat, tubes all in my nose, tube, everything. I'm hooked up. I don't know what happened. They come in and they're taking out the tubes out of me and stuff. And it's wild. How long have I been here? A process of 20 days. A process of 20 days it changed me to a different person because I already had a previous knowledge of what I had just experienced. I'm like, yo, and it's a crazy science, the fire science. How do you travel? How are you traveling and there's no time? How are you moving through through space and there's no time? Time does not exist, right? So it was like really wild because I'm comforted. I'm comforted with the fact of knowledge. Man, Like I'm moving, and I've been telling people, like, you gotta learn how to travel. You gotta learn how to travel. You gotta learn how to travel. Been, and it was like it was leading me up to this, to where I really had the experience that I had been talking to, telling people about, like telling people about the light codes and all of that, like how to travel and how to interpret light and everything. Now, the I would say this is what why whenever I came back, the most important thing to me is Genesis 1 and 1 and 1 and 2, because you in darkness, you're moving in the darkness, you're moving upon the darkness, right? And then in the distance, imagine like a small particle of light in the distance, and then it's like the particle begins to expand upon itself, and that's the only particle of light that you ever that you are exposed to, and then you're moving into it, but you don't get burned by the light, you don't get blinded by the light. What ends up happening, you become the light, and then boom, you back into this reality, you back in this world, back into this world. And it's a confirmation of everything that I could speak. Life is a process of reincarnation and resurrection. There's nothing new underneath the sun. It's a process of when they say living and dying. It's a process of it. You have to die to thyself in order to inherit the kingdom of heaven. Unless man be born again of spirit, be born again. Well, how can you do this? I stand here to tell you, man, it's a profound experience, and then it's so profound. Like I'm awake in the hospital. I'm awake in the hospital, and it was so hard for me to believe that this is real. The like numb to the pain, numb to the pain, numb to it. But I feel everything else. I feel everything else, and it's like, how is this real? And it's not a question that is mine alone. This has been a question for thousands of years. Like, how we know that this is the CIA has a document out that this is a holographic universe. We are a holograph of another universe. We are reflected from another universe. So the convincing period was what convinced me that this might be actually life, right? Was was not somebody telling me, oh, this is real, because I don't discuss this with people. The convincing thing was whenever I see myself in a mirror, and then the understanding, oh, I'm just like everybody else. But then the other understanding is like, yo, but I'm blessed. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed because I don't have a bad body. This is not a bad body that I live in. I don't have a bad understanding of anything. I live in the United States of America. I'm not in a bad position to be able to say a lot of things. Whenever it comes to me, what my understanding is, and then things that people have said that reflects what I already know. Like, damn, this is for real. Like I tell people, look, you catch a shine off of like anything. You see a reflection of the sun on say that you're looking at a window, and then you catch a reflection of the sun on the window. What you do is you take your hands and you make a look, you have a four, like a 4-point diamond right here, and you catch the shine in that 4-point diamond. You start unlocking light codes within the thing. The different, because things shine different ways depending like where it's hidden at and the angles that it's hidden at. Light light has a lot of codes to it. You can unlock a lot of things. You can manifest a lot of things through light. People don't tell you this. You know what I'm saying? And then you get into the aspect of trying to learn what this is not of a material. We're not really trying to play too much. Like, we're trying to get to the original. So we say, damn, we're trying to speak a light language. You know, and then and certain groups they try to use like the way that things like how the connection between the tongue and the roof of the mouth. When you speak, you're trying to make connection with the roof of your mouth, because that's where your third eye is. You're trying to make a constant connection with the third eye and the roof of your mouth. From where the thoughts come from. So, like, we want to say good things when it comes out of our mouth. If we in this day and age, we don't know the light language. We don't speak the light language. In this day, all we are gifted with is positive perception of words. If we are using negative words, then we leave ourselves open for negative experiences, because our words create our reality. This is a holographic universe. So if I'm consistently saying negative words and I'm having negative opinions about things, I become my reality becomes negative. And that's where it's like, dang, that's where the escape happens. We escape by changing everything that we do. Everything that we do, that's our escape. And the only thing about it, the whole thing is, we know better. We know better. The whole process is, what is the confliction in human beings to always want to be, to not do better. It's like, that's where the corruption is. It's like inherently in us. The corruption is inherently in us. Like, one moment I can say, damn, I'm about to live nothing but natural, and then damn, that snack looks so good, and it's surrounded by all of us. It's so readily available. Corruption is so readily available. You don't have to go very far for corruption. Yeah, and it starts, like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson, my favorite person, and I started. I like, that's what a lot of things is. Damn, the presentation that Mike put on, like, let me put on the same type of armor that Michael Jackson put on, because he was as powerful as a person. Because being able to promote peace and positivity. If you want to make the world a better place, you got to start looking at the person, the image that's in the mirror. So whenever I see myself that song means so much to me. That song within itself, because, bro, look, hey, I would have never seen myself in that mirror. I would have not believed. I would have not believed. That's belief right there. Oh man, I didn't believe that any of this was real. Oh no, this is people telling me things. People telling me things that happened. You don't remember this? No, no, I don't remember none of that. Right? And then, I see myself. Oh man, all of those things that all those things that were going through my head. Those were real. All those things was real. That's what scared me about seeing myself in the mirror. Like, it's just like a rushing, that rush. Like, oh fuck, like, at that point I almost passed out, but I had to, use the restroom. Uh, and I'm also blessed to be strong. I like, I don't know. I given myself like a burden that I shouldn't be bearing. But I given myself the burden. You know, so many Good people have been prosecuted, right? It ain't like people try like I know that like some people look down on me, but like Martin Luther King went to jail. Martin Luther King went to jail. Malcolm X had a criminal record, you know, all of that, bro. So they try to shoot the messenger, and people. What am I supposed to do? Other people only put fuel to the fire out of their own mouth. I've never met anybody like you, Clay. I ain't never met nobody like you, Clay. Clay, man, you remind me of Jesus. Clay, you're a genius. Clay, you inspire everything that I do today. People out of they mouth they make this proclamation to me, and it's like damn. So I do have people this fanning my ego and saying yo I'm in particular company when it comes to these things. You want to talk about ancient, bro? I was 6 years old having post traumatic. I have this what they want to talk about mental health. I have post traumatic stress syndrome from a past life. Who's going to talk about that post traumatic stress from a past life? My whole life I've been here, but I ain't really been here. Type shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm here, but I'm not here. You feel me? Because there's a whole lot of deeper thing that must be going on. 6 years old, man. Had like I had been so about I would say I was like 1 years old. I had to be like 1 years old. Um, it was it's crazy that I remember this. Like I'm crawling. I went 1, 2 up the stairs. We live in an apartment in Pebble Creek. I went 1, 2 up the stairs, and then um whenever whenever I was doing this, fucking just something fucking happened. I don't know if I fell. I don't know what happened. But anytime that you get hit like in the head, it's a very mysterious thing that just happened where like that it's a light. It's a light. Boom. But this like it's so crazy like that this light just fucking boom. And the light like light hit and then I fell down. You feel me? But when you fall down, and this is where like a weird instance of like when you have a it's like you have tunnel vision. And if you ever seen like a picture of the earth, and all of the pictures will be like in a tunnel vision to where like earth is in a ball, right? And it's just like that, but like it's almost like you're moving to an illuminated earth since a child, right? Then 6 years old, uh I'm in the living room reflecting on that. What was that? I had this, and then boom, an instance of another life happened to me. But the glimpse that I get of it, it's something that a 6-year old should have, right? I, I I'm being murdered. That's not cool, right? And then I'm speaking out about it, and you're crazy. I'm crazy. I must be, But like to like blood in your eyes, bro. Like blood in your eyes, and then how many hits from like very substantial rocks can you take? Boom, boom, boom. It's very quick. You know what I'm saying? I'm 6 years old, and then I start crying. What's wrong with you? How can I explain this? I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get in trouble. You know, I don't say nothing. I'm just, you know, and then black family, you get yelled at. You feel me? What you crying for? And you get in trouble for crying and stuff like that. So it's just like, damn. It's a real fucking thing. I got post traumatic stress syndrome from whatever time I was stoned to fucking death. For what? What to think like to think, what was you doing to get stoned to death? What did you say? What happened with you, bro? And then that's where my infatuation with history come from, right? Because it's been a hope. Like maybe somebody wrote of my death or some like maybe somebody talked about this somewhere. Maybe I can find myself somewhere in history. And I've been looking, I've been searching, I've been trying to find, but it just don't seem like I will be able to make a connection to like get some justice. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that's a thing. Like uh, and I just had particular experiences whenever I was like as a kid, right? Just because I had trouble speaking. Like off the rip, I was against a lot already. And like being a kid, like when I was a kid, I was up against a lot. So, but I just had a different connection with things. Like I was artful. I see things, and then I would draw them out, and then I would make things and all types of stuff. Like I had this connection with the trees. The trees were one of my biggest things. The trees were like it's an understanding with trees, and I still to this day got this understanding with trees. Like I'd be like when somebody need me to pray with them, my first thing is, man, we need to go over here by this tree because I'm saying trees is it has a connection to all throughout the earth. The trees are connected underground. They're connected. They give us a connection. If we able to transfer energy, like and be like intermediary for us. If we have a connection for the earth emits energy. We praying or whatever. We trying to make a connection to the higher powers. We trying to make the earth vibrate with us, so the earth sends out off a signal to the other planets. The other planets start vibrating with us, and then we send it. We sending up this message to God. You want me to pray for your homie? You want me to pray for your dude? You want me to pray for you? Man, let's go over here by this tree. You know, and then I have that power. So like, so many people would like ask me to be the intermediary for them because they lost they didn't find the way, but I found the way. I found the way. I found the way, the path. This deep understanding, this mystical way. I, I found I found this mystical way, this mystical path. A lot of people not gonna be mystics. A lot of people not gonna walk that path. So you know, it's a thing. I'm already given power. You know, I'm already given power. Um, in a lot of ways. But like I say, I had those experiences like where I seen it was a great being, red eyes, great being with red eyes, right? Great being with red eyes, you know, and it's like it's like it moved with darkness. You feel me? Yeah, through my house, through my house, right? That day right there, very scary day in my life, right? And it came to I had a understanding about something. There's something. So that feeling of that thing right there over my shoulder, that thing follows me from house to house wherever I go, right? And the crazy thing about where this being came from, this being came out of my mama from my mama room. Like what? And then it's just like this dark energy, a dark cloud that keep on following me from that. So it'd be like, damn, that's when you have a curse on something, you have a like, and I gave you the description. It's a great being with red eyes, and it move with darkness. It just that's in our house from my mama room. That what? And I'm perplexed. I'm like, and then I go over look where it went to, and I'm scared as hell because I'm just like, oh no, bro, no. And my whole life I don't see shit. Um, even whenever like I took psychedelics or whatever, like I took LSD. I started taking LSD in my high school year. Um, and the thing about it is where a lot of people don't understand is it really do take you into a deep understanding about a lot of things. Like it's an understanding about how factors may just happen. Like it's an opportunity to understand. You may very well have the opportunity to see the world through somebody else's eyes. You can see the world through the eyes of a blade of grass. You're gonna see the eyes the world through the lens of the whole earth. See the world through the lens of the creator. See the world through the lens of a rattlesnake. See the you see the from every aspect of life, and this is the completion. And then what happened? It leads to a lot of different questions. What happens after that? And it begins again in a different type of iteration and a different form. Um, it's really like that's what I had my high school year. In high school, that was my understanding. I'm sitting, and people wouldn't put shame on it, but like if you haven't, if I survived the experience, and it's a very crazy experience. It's a wild experience. That's why it calls trip it out. But like it's a wild experience. But what you walk away with after that, you're like, dang, I walk away with a lot of things. Like it's a lot of panicking situations because you're afraid that people won't understand what type of state you're in. And that's the biggest worry that I've ever had. The only thing that I've ever been scared of, because people know me and they don't see me as like a fearful person. The only thing that I'm scared of is that people won't understand the mind space that I'm in. Uh, my very first trip is funny because I didn't know anything about this. So like I tried to do like the psychedelic stuff, man. Oh, but then I went to chemistry. I went to chemistry class. I'm sitting in chemistry class, and then the teacher gives me a paper, and then the very first word on the paper is cause and effect, and then it was like the word cause and effect just popped up off of the paper, and then it was right before my eyes, cause and effect, and then cause and effect became so important to me that day. Like I'm because I'm trying to find out what does this mean. There has to be a deeper understanding of cause and effect. There's a deeper understanding here. Like, and I'm like, it's very deep. I'm going up to people I have never even known, like, and then like it's a weird state to be in because you're like, I don't know if they're gonna understand. Like, I don't want them to know that I'm tripping because they may judge me. You're like, and I'm always checking myself in the mirror, and then I'll be looking in the mirror, and then like it just starts spiraling and stuff, and you can't really see your eyes or anything. So you're scared like that other people are gonna see this. Like you're gonna see like these colors. You're scared. So um, I'm going around, and so it's like basically me taking a survey to see, does anybody know what cause and effect mean? And what you come to find out, people don't know what cause and effect mean. They think they don't think that fat meat is greasy. That's the problem with humans. They don't believe that fat meat is greasy. They don't know about cause and effect. Every action has a reaction, and the effect cannot come before the cause. That's what I was seeking. I was seeking for somebody to tell me that the the effect does not come before the cause. It was like, damn, like cause and effect. It just sent me, and it's not a bad thing that I was dealing with at that point in time. It was a seeking for understanding of knowledge. It was a seeking for understanding. And every time that I did it from that point on, I'm learning different things, and it's like about the natural world. It's about the natural environment. It's a mental inquiring about all of these things. But doing these things in very uncomfortable situations, it can lead to negative thoughts. uh I remember being with some so-called friends, and they're so annoying. the whole time the whole time they were just being annoying. They kept on saying the same thing over and over. One of them would say, "Free your mind, Dewey," and then he say, "Quit smoking, Carl." Over and over. They keep on repeating this over and over and over. And I'm like, I'm really like, what's up with my friends? And they doing the same thing for hours. And it really messed me up. Like, I'm like, damn, I don't want to be tripping with y'all again. No sir, y'all are not, you know. And it's an understanding. Like, for me, 'cause I've been through traumatic experiences, and it'd be like you trying to make a bond with people that seem to be going through the same thing. But like, damn, are you really dealing with what I'm dealing with? You know, and it's hard to find people like this dealing with what I'm dealing with. Like, I'm saying, damn, you can't understand why. Like, I love, I love, I love the story of Jesus for a certain type of reason. I'm gonna always go back to the Bible and be talking some Bible stuff because you don't understand my connection to the sciences that Jesus is talking. What Jesus is talking about, you don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, like, be not of basically be not of this world. Be not of this world. Like, man, it's like a connection. Like, I'm really like, from my experience, like the I don't my God, the God that I subscribe to, the God that I subscribe to, that I've been that I love so much. I gotta, like, and it's like the God that I know is not going to be saying something in my head. God, God not gonna say nothing. God gonna show me. I'm gonna see it. It's going to be made manifest. It's going to be there. Whatever God for me, it's going to be there. The things that come into my mind, like, and stuff like that, it's not of a factor, because the things that are made manifest. That's what it is. So me living this life, like, it's not it can't be no accident. It's an accident. You survive. Somebody else should have lived in your place, right? Nobody can live in my place because it's by nature. God did this in order for me to be a testimony, a testament to the power that people do not know of. You don't know this power. You know what I'm saying? I'm a testimony of this power. And I'm saying, damn, it was even before then. Like, yo, I'm telling you, like, yo, I'm not the one. Like, if you miss, if you miss the sign that God gives for you, you ignore the sign that God gives for you. you ignore what God give to you. God lays signs out. Like if you driving down the road, in order for you to know where you're going, you got to look at the signs. You ain't if you just keep on driving, you're not looking at no signs. You gonna lose your way. You don't know where to go. If God giving you signs, you got to look at the signs that's being put right there in your eyes. It's already made there for you to have. No, I'm gonna ignore the signs. Nah, none of that. It's crazy because it's like how many times the big thing is like this whole thing been destroyed and restarted many times. You think you are safe? You know, it ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe. It ain't safe out here. You understand? You're a human. You're not a planet. You're a human. you know, you're a human. You're not a star. Hmm. Trying to beat time. Trying to calculate it right. Hey, say that a planet way bigger than Earth just sweeps through, clear out everything. Yeah, everybody just we like. I'm looking at the stars because the stars supposed to tell me something, and then I look at I done seen two solar eclipses. One almost made me go blind. The other one happened to go right above my house. Um, right. So I'm supposed to be the one to interpret the sign, right? Oh, you claim yourself a man of God. Improve yourself. What this sign, what this sign is truly declaring, what this sign is saying, this comes as a strict warning because of the place that it took place, where it traveled through, who was able to see. If you know anything about American history, and you look at that solar eclipse where it traveled through, there goes your sign. you know, when something's your birthright, you know, it's your birthright. If you think that you higher than the intermediaries, that you're higher than the guardians of the people, you messed up. You know, it's really crazy, right? I'm gonna give y'all a little piece of a pie. Um, Now, if you want to try to get a collection of stories, right? The most complete stories that you can find are going to be of Greco-Roman. Uh, just about it. If you can't, that's going to be the biggest piece of the pie. So you have to decipher what they're talking about and comparative stance. But the Greco-Romans are going to have the biggest piece of the pie, and you have to, and it's going to be detailed about a lot of stuff. So, but it's going to be from a particular perspective. So you got to do a lot of reading through and looking at stuff. But that's the detail right there. Um, that and also what the Hindus got. The Hindus got the other piece of the pie. Uh, they've been able to keep that thing. So them two things, and you put them against each other. Those two things, and then you have the ability to compare it to other books. So like I would then from the Greek scriptures and the Hindu scriptures, you go to the Egyptian scriptures, and then you start doing a little of that, and then that's whenever you have to open it to really to have a bigger understanding of, the Sumerians, what the Sumerians got. Uh, but the fullest picture is gonna come from the Greco Romans. You know, um, kind of sad, but that's just how it is. Uh, in the modern day, uh, the Vatican is really the ones that really need to give us the information. Uh, the archives need to be public information. Um, that's what the Vatican needs to move to do. Is make digital copies of all of the information in the archives and release it to the public. That's what they need to do if they have not already done so yet. Uh, my mind is not just in one place. Like when you say when you look at it in the book of Job, right? This is a powerful thing of the mind, right? It was a thing. It's it's where God and Satan is having a conversation, and there was a particular thing that was pointed out to me that it's like like it just gets blown up to me. It's like I've been traveling to and fro, and he says, have you considered my servant Job? Uh, what I was doing, I took that as it was not like a real conversation, right? Like you can look at it as a thing where it's not a real conversation, but it's an opportunity for a certain type of interpretation that can open your mind up, right? If these are spirits, right, and they're moving, I have an understanding of astral projection. So with the astral projection, I'm able to go about and you know, kind of move about the world. I can be on the other side of the planet and be right here. Like when you come up to say something about China, that thing comes a place in China comes to mind. You're like, oh, there's somewhere in China that I'm thinking about, and I'm 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 manifesting that right there. Whenever I'm talking about a particular area of the world that I'm trying to place myself, right? I know that people will be like, oh, it's a misinterpretation. But how are you going to free yourself from not understanding? Right off rip, I am not the body, I am the mind. I am not the body, I am the mind. You know, where does this words come from? Um, I am not the body, I am the mind. When and I have a deep understanding like that, like there's a world behind my eyes. Whenever I close my eyes, right, I'm close. I'm close to the real world. When I close my eyes, I'm closer to the real world than not, because with the main thing that everybody know, and when you die, you cannot take no physical possessions with you. No, no, nothing of this world you're gonna be able to take. Everybody know this. If somebody's expecting any different, if you're expecting, you messed up there. You can't take none of their stuff with you. Oh, the thing about it is like the non-material world. The non-material world. the declaration of the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. Now, I have a particular word to say, something to say to you, right? Um, I was about to, and that's another thing, right? A lot of people get in the practice of blaspheming God. People are really in the practice of this, blaspheming the Most High and blaspheming the the connection that people have with the Most High. You know, uh, you know, you have to understand for what all of these things is worth. What do all of these things mean? Um, that when Jesus say, many on that day will say, Rabbi, Rabbi, have I not prophesied in your name? And what Jesus would say is, away from me, you evildoer, I never knew you, right? I done met a lot of ignorant Christians. Bro, the Bible is not complete. The one that's given to us is not a complete Bible. It's not a complete thing. There's things taken away because they want it to tell a certain type of story that is fitting in the eyes of a particular people for a particular reason to control. You know, that's the thing. All right, it's so easy, bro. I could go out here and tell somebody a lie. I tell you a straight up lie. I'm the only one that knows it's a lie. Ain't nobody. I'm and I make it up in my mind that I'm gonna take this lie to the grave, right? I make up a lie. I tell everybody the lie, and they believe in the lie, and then you like, dang, everybody believe in a lie. Well, this is a process where I'm the only one that knows, so I didn't feel all the people, and then it's such a good lie that it it people are captivated by it. People captivated by the lie, and then now I have the ability to you believe this certain thing and expand upon the lie and control you with this lie. Now, some people find out that it's a lie and tell the other people it's a lie. They look you, and then you tell them all the clues of how it's a lie, and then you say they choose for themselves. I would rather live with the lie. You understand? That's the confounding thing right there. Like, it was a lot from the beginning. It was a lot from the beginning, bro. It was a lot from the beginning. They were trying to tell it in a certain type of way, bro. Like, it is bad. It's bad. Like, bro, you don't even really make it into two. You don't even make it two words into the Bible, and then the lie already there. The lie right there. And then I'll be trying to tell people, I'll be trying to show them the Bible. I'll be like, yo, you see God right here, right? You gotta go to the bottom of where the scripture takes place, and then it will have God is usually marked. God is usually marked with a symbol because they're gonna highlight on God. They're gonna highlight on God what God in that particular stance means. When you highlight it, it become Elohim. That's more than, and it means more than the gods. And then it'd be like, dang, it's a very particular situation that we end up dealing with. Um, yeah, this is going in my archives, man. I done did my number on this one. My headphones is dying in my ear. I don't know how my sound is sounding, but you tell people that like they've been lying to you from the beginning, bitch. Gods. And then it be like throughout the text, it'd be like a retelling of the same thing, almost in the same spins on in a lot of different ways. It's just like a retelling of the same thing over and over and over again in that Bible. It's like you have a weird thing, right? You have you have the Garden of Eden. You have the Garden of Eden. Okay. You have you have Jacob and Esau. Okay. You have Moses in Egypt. Um, it's very particular, man. It's a particular situation because they retelling the same story over and over and over again. Any sense? Any senses they telling the same story over and over again. Okay, so you have when you have the fall of humanity, they call the fall of humanity. What's the stipulations of the whole thing? The whole thing revolves around labor. It's all about labor. You will labor. The woman will labor in childbirth. The man will labor and work. That's the labor, right? Then you get into the situation of the people in Egypt. The thing they said they didn't want to labor no more. They were tired of laboring. You know, in both situations, it's an exiting. It's a casting out. You know, Jacob. So you be like this whole thing about Jacob. It's a retelling of the same thing. So when Jacob goes about you messing with the speckled goat, um, from the other goats, and he was going to keep all the speckled goats. It's a telling of okay, I'm gonna keep this one here over here reserved for me. I'm taking this man over here reserved for me, right? So this is what I'm telling you. That it's a retelling of the same thing. So when you have the Enu Elish to go along with it, so you'd be like, all right, well, so there were seven of the original creation. That these were the men before Adam. And then it's like I'm taking this material for myself. You know what I'm saying? To serve a particular purpose because men were created to take the loads of these quote unquote God to take bear the load for them. The whole purpose for man is to bear the load for God. Oh, geez, Louise, I just feel heated about history. Uh, the whole thing is about labor. Your pain shall increase, and from the ground you shall eat. But that was the contract in the beginning. It was the contract in the beginning, like be fruitful and multiply, and tend to the garden. Uh, you know, we started getting expounding on Adam himself. You know, the creation of Adam was particularly to cause corruption in the world. Adam was created to cause corruption, cause a lot of increasing on a whole lot of disturbance in. That's what the Quran says. The Quran has that interpretation. So, oh yeah,
But if I want to be honest, this is why like I have a particular thing. I cannot be in favor of just being declaring myself like I'm with Muhammad and things like that, because you start doing the research. Muhammad comes to the knowledge that he came into because he was they were doing trade. They were trading with these people that believed in certain things. He heard a lot of things word of mouth. And he replicated the story that he heard word of mouth. And they said he had this revelation in the cave. The things that the connections that he made, he said he he couldn't have known it any other way. He don't know no They say he didn't know no Jesus. He was in around the time of Jesus. How does he know this? But it's word of mouth. You know, uh, and that's one of the things. So it's a revelation of no doubt. So you said it with your mouth. People believe in it, manifest a lot of things, and that power of people believing and manifesting is the what where you have the power of today to use this Bible, to use the Bible, to use all of these ancient things to create prophecy for today. All of these stories and everything can be used for prophecy today. That's the only function that it can be able to serve, is because if it was not then, and they have made this so in words and script and spells, they have made this so, they have set in a path of making this stuff happen. So they are slowly trying to usher this in. We don't gotta question who Mystery Babylon is. Mystery Babylon, this is Mystery Babylon. Ain't no questioning. What's so mysterious about this? Or oh, nobody want to call it Mystery Babylon. Nobody want to say that out their mouth. Yeah, they live in Babylon. Nobody want to be like, damn, we live in a place that's headed for destruction. And how are we supposed to be forgiven whenever we go to another nation? Because those nations too, as well, will be judged for having fornication with Babylon. These nations, these people from these other countries are obsessing over what I have. You obsessing over it. You are really obsessing over this so-called American dream. You come over here, you don't know, you don't speak the language, so you can't really. What are you gonna do? Are you gonna read the history books? Are you gonna understand anything about the history of this land? No, you coming over here to take advantage of something. You trying to inherit a land that is not your land, which is the consistent problem. Why are you coming over here to inherit a land that's not yours? That's the problem. So 20 million, 20 million of these people that came over here, 20 million of them, you know, seeking to take what's rightfully some people's. Some people, have rightful heirship. You know, by now, if everything was fair, you know, my people, my people are known to do great things. My people would have. You talk about castles and kingdoms. My people would have been there already, set up castles and kingdoms. The face of America wouldn't even be the same. I, like my testament is because I grew up in a scene that really changed the face of America. In the early 2000s, the culture was big, everything big. The chains is big, the spinners is big. Everybody displaying the significance of our people. Things that never give a nigga no money, because what we're gonna do? We're gonna do some stuff that you wasn't expecting. Oh, look at what they done did. And then look, you talk about crazy one year, the next year it's a whole trend. Everybody doing it. Now you talking crazy about it, but a lot of that's all. I say about 80% of all of that stuff comes from my people's culture. 80% of it. 80% of everything. You know, whenever the news gets on there, they don't have nothing else to talk about. They come over there talking about the woke culture. They come over there talk about the woke culture. They come over there try to talk about, oh, woke. If you go woke, you go broke. They try to talk down about people like me. But at the end of the day, they profit in everything about my culture. Because right now, everything that they studying come from my people, and they took that away from they initially took it away from it. They say they killed us whenever they say voodoo, and now they going over there Africa trying to learn some voodoo and stuff, trying to get in the higher realm. But this like how can you do that? There's karmic retribution, there's ancestral retribution. Remember, out of the words of this book that I say, this prophecy, it says that it should be carried on for the 34th generation. I end ending up those generations. The 34th generation ends with me. It'll be carried on up until my generation. My look, my generation is the end of all the bullshit. I don't like it's that's the battle between the old and the new. The old is walking itself out the door, and the new is up here in the front. We talk about everything. Look, damn. They like, damn, these young people we bringing everything. We have access to everything. Like, oh, access to everything. Say it be like, damn, you didn't know nothing about this. You know, you don't know nothing about this. You know, this that good. You know, it's a real thing. Damn. It took a long time for people to come to a real understanding about this misinterpretation of a recent leader. Like I say I say this, right? I I have a thing, right? Because there were I take a lot of energy. I take a lot of energy from a particular individual. A particular individual give me the energy. Like when when the world is on my shoulders, and like I just feel like, dang, what am I going to next, right? One individual that keep me going. Tupac Shakur keep me going. Because people still to the people just now coming to the understanding of the real life of Tupac Shakur, an individual that had a particular situation, because he has to stand up, he has to speak out, he has to be a rare individual. Because it's like, yo, I live and I breathe this shit. It's my blood. It's everything that I do. I gotta be there. Because my people's not no pushovers. My people not no pushovers by no means. You can't push us over. We gonna make something happen. We gonna do that. And my connection to it, I can never say that I was alive when Tupac Shakur was alive. Tupac Shakur died September 13th, 1996. Uh, my birthday, the day I was born. I was born September 16th, 1996. You know, and I feel that energy. I feel like, damn, the torch get carried. It's a responsibility to keep that energy going. You feel me? Keep that energy going. You know what I'm saying? And everything that I've been through, people don't want to honor that energy. They say that they about it, but they don't want to honor it. How you anything like Tupac, and you ain't out here Black Panthered up? I'm Black Panthered up, baby. I'm not. I'm Black National up, bro. And I'm trying to find the best way to do it. You know, is it acting? Is it doing poetry? Is it what am I supposed to do? You feel me? Because I'm a soldier for the movement. My first thing, whenever I'm exposed to the world, I say, damn, man. First thing that I gotta do, I gotta make a decision to stand up. I gotta stand up. That's my first decision that I gotta make. So I graduate high school. When everybody told me, everybody was looking down, talking about me ever since I was a kid. Oh, he ain't gonna be nothing. He gonna end up in prison. He not gonna graduate. He's stupid. He gonna be like all them other people. I already knew I had to stand up because I didn't already beat all everybody else's expectations and what they done said throughout an 18-year period. I said, damn, I'm a soldier, whether you like it or not. But and the army people didn't even like it because yo, I'm a soldier no matter if you like it or not. I'm a soldier. I made it all the way through. They still don't like me. Okay. Well, at the end of the day, what I'm taught is to stand on business, to defend what I believe in, and what y'all preaching right now is not what I believe in. I'm gonna fight for myself. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, at the end of the day, so, and then that's something that I didn't carry for another 9 years. I didn't carry the same thing. I didn't went through that. I didn't been brutalized by the police over and over and over and over and over again. God damn it, I died and then came back to life and still got brutalized by the police over and over and over and over and over again. Yeah. So what am I supposed to say? You know what I'm saying? My ambitions as a rider. That's what I'm gonna say. It's my ambitions as a rider because I'm riding like 4 flats on a Cadillac when it comes to my people. I'm gonna come out here. You know what I'm saying? Go to South Dallas and feed the homeless people because every Saturday that's what I want to do. Look, and I got the tools and the resources to do something like that. Yeah, we gonna go to South Dallas. We're gonna feed these people, bro. You feel me? I get to look. We go. I want to help and better the people. I'm a part of organization, community step up, community step in. You know, we trying to step up the community. That's what I believe in. I believe in doing more. I wanna go above everybody's expectations. And I know that there's too much power in our people for us to be living like the way we do, taking perks and shooting up everybody. Everywhere we go, we feel like we gotta take perks and then shoot up everything. We got too much access to information and too much knowledge, too many things, too many examples of past things, and we falling victim to it. We falling very much victim to it. Damn, out of everything, you addicted to opioids. Opioids got a big stronghold on the people and had a stronghold on the people since the 1920s. Yeah, since the 1920s, the opioid crisis is not just beginning. The opioid crisis been a thing, but only whenever it starts affecting particular communities is it a thing. But it's been a thing before there was ever a crack era. Like yeah, heroin and opioids have been a thing. And just like with the crack era and things like that. Look, look, what I'm about to say. Me myself, I don't have any proof of it, direct proof of it, but just like how crack initially started, like really making it, being able to make a free thing that Rick Ross was able to talk about, come out of the situation and be able to talk about that. He was basically even set up to be in this particular situation because the government was moving in cocaine to their little operation. So I feel as though it, there's to me there's no evidence of it, but I believe that just like the cocaine, the heroin also come through some of the same thing. You know, I strongly believe that. Because there's history. The British was able to destabilize the Chinese by giving them opium. It started a whole war called the Boxer War and the Opium Wars because that opium became an essential thing. They had whole houses where they was just smoking opium. You know, and then they talk about the war on drugs, right? So everybody that sells drugs is a criminal, but somebody with a, a doctor degree. And these people that run these pharmaceutical companies, these are the biggest crooks in the world. The way that they up the price of drugs and all of that, man, they the real criminals. But you can't. Who got the power to take on them? You know, you try to call somebody that's important. You try to call anybody important. It seems as though the people that's supposed to be subject to the people, you can't never get them on the phone. They too important. They too important running the campaign. Oh, I'm trying to get reelected. I don't have time for none of that stuff. But you actively action for the people to vote for you to get you back into that elected position. That's some crazy stuff. And like the reason I'm talking like how I am because like my my people be like in these little circles with these people. I'm like, damn. And then I'm like, from my perspective, these is everyday people. You're an everyday person to me. Uh, and they like try to exert some type of power, and I'm like, you're an everyday person. And like, do you even work out? Can you even do a push up? Can you do a sit up? Like, what? How am I supposed to think that you're a powerful person? How am I like the fact that you can be able to lie to people and manipulate situations, that's what I should be afraid of. That you as an elected official can manipulate the law and the policies in any type of way to be able to do anything that you want to do politically, to deny people the right to advance their community. And I ran into this thing. These same people have really you asking people to support you, but you try to take the confidence away from the next generation because from your position, from wherever you're coming from, somebody that doesn't know me, you say, oh, you're not a leader, bro. Everywhere I done been, I have never been no follower. I have not followed nobody. I don't follow people. People want to follow me. I look. I start being like this. I'm gonna make people so fucking uncomfortable. Don't be around me. Don't fucking be around me. That's what my energy started being like. Just don't be around me. Cause people are people. Look, nah, nah, nah. Yeah, I had to cut that off. The same person that said I don't want to be around nobody really want to be around people, but like, do you like the same people I want to save is so mentally taxing. Like I'm going on 3 hours right now, and the reason that anybody would do something like stay on camera live and preach for 3 hours is because they believe in something and they care. I care, and I just would have been. I've been showing that I care for 3 hours, but you find so many people that don't. They don't care. They don't care, and because don't care, I'm supposed to not care in turn. That's why I said earlier, I don't want to be in the practice of killing somebody, like shooting somebody down for what they believe. You believe whatever you want to, but I'm trying to lead you into the truth. I'm gonna stand behind what I said. If that stuff didn't happen in the past, that opens you up to for a prophecy to happen, for you to be able to have divination by this book. You can have divination by this book because it's just like it's a telling of a story of the stars. It's telling a story of a lot of astrological movements that you have to take into account. These the people They came together. They said we're gonna write. We're gonna put this book together. It was an active thing. Like if we was to take all of the smart people and all of the researchers and all of the scientists and say we're gonna make a book and we're gonna for everybody to get this thing straight. If the United States government or the UN was to say, man, we're gonna take all of the we're gonna create just a one like that, a book. I understand that there would be a lot of pushback on this book, but it would set the stage for generations if we could do something like that. You know, uh, it'd be real crazy. For the CIA, for what that thing overseas. I'm look, I be scared to drop these people names. I could say the CIA, but like you know, Interpol over there. Uh, you know what I'm saying? The KGB need to release what they got. You know, the Vatican need to release what they got. The Israeli Mossad need to release what they got. You know, and then we all work to doing something better in the next 100 years, because they got technology that that puts us like a couple 100 years in the future if we implement it right now. Like I said, this is me. I care. This is not me trying to tear down anything, but like one of the main things is this is a story that people came together. This book, we came together as a council of Nicaea to put this book together to argue what was going to be approved. They argued the fact of how are you going to have a God that is physical and a God that is not physical. What are you trying to do here? That there was the argument in the council of Nicaea. How are you going to have a God that is out here having babies and stuff? What they came up with. So when you're reading this, you have to understand that they came up with that story. When you talk about it, New Test. Um, yeah, they because when you bring somebody from Egypt, and then they arise that question. Like, how are you gonna have a God that is physical and non-physical, right? Oh, because in Egypt you have the prior understanding of Osiris. Osiris, had resurrected. He came. He was put back together by Isis. Isis re-erected Osiris so they can have a child, and you know that's where the obelisk come from. So that's previous understanding that they already had. So when you look at that whole thing of the crucifixion and things like that, you have to see that's the same retelling of Osiris. And the I think that the story of Osiris is more it's more beautiful in fact, because it's like, damn, you cut, like, so he was killed by his brother, and he was cut up into pieces, dismembered, and then it took his woman to put him back together. His woman put him back together, and made him resurrect. And then it made magical things happen. The child became the son. I like that story a lot better. I'm just like it seemed more natural. Man, woman, child. Man, woman, child. That's the true story. But people wanna have a corrupt. It's corruption. That's the argument in in the castle, telling a corrupt. You trying to tell a corrupt story, but at the same time, right? Let's go into some mystical topics. Do you believe in immaculate conception? Like, there's scientific research like where a woman will be able to, you know, create both things if certain type of in a certain type of chromosomal nature. A woman will have the opportunity to self fertilize, you know, uh, immaculate conception. That's one of my main things. So like, it does open you up to a different type of power of belief, you know, in certain things. So there's things of mystical natures that you have to be able to decipher, you know, cut through this text, cut through it, you know. Um, I seen a lot of crazy things, man. Like, um, I've been writing really crazy on some really crazy things lately. So I'm gonna tell y'all a couple stories about, like, the final times and final hours of Jesus, right? There's the Garden of Gethsemane, right? I brought this up to my mama. I read the scripture to her, brought it up to her, and I told her, I was like, it does seem kind of strange, mama. The scripture read, just for the sake of time, because I've been talking for 3 hours and I'm not making another video. But Jesus is in the Garden of Gethsemane, and it says that he was with a young boy with with basically like, what basically he just had like a, you would say like a thin garment of clothing, basically like just a small cover was his only, like, basically his only clothing, basically. Yeah, just a small thing. And it's a it's a situation, right? It's a situation within their mystical order, right? They would take natural things, and the thing was that they had there was an experience to be had with venom and anti venom. So, um, the what the full interpretation of it is that the boy is the one that is carrying anti venom, and Jesus had just took venom. And he's talking about, um and a lot of different a lot of different things in Mark, Luke, and in all of the different testimonies is, thy cup pass, let thy cup pass, let that cup pass, right? But in this particular telling the story with the young boy, is the young boy runs out of the garden. The young boy runs out. His anti venom runs out of the garden, and he go and that's when he starts calling out, "Let thy cup pass." That's his cup. His cup is running out of the garden. Uh, and then it goes into the thing where, you know it's a rush to help Jesus. It's a rush to try to help Jesus. Uh, there's attempts to try to pass, Jesus, get Jesus the, this cup, but he not able to do it. So it's like, whenever he has the testimony, why has thou forsaken me, right? It's a whole thing, like, thing, and then after those words, he gives up the ghost, right? Bang. Now, in any regard, like, about the events after that. It'd be like, well, dang, it's some crazy stuff. Because it's weird. It's a weird interpretation of things, you know. The and John, I know this one particularly. In John, Jesus. Well, let me not ruin the story. Mary, in this particular account of after Jesus had been buried, um, Mary, Magdalene, she was by herself. She goes to the gravesite, and there's two angels there, two men sitting there, and she asks, where basically like in the book, like, where's thou Jesus or his body? And then tell me where he is basically. And then Jesus appears behind Mary. And it's a weird way that it's worded. Very weird. Uh, she says, I have not ascended yet to thy father, but go to thy brethren and tell us thou that I have ascended. That's where like it becomes like a weird thing that's been pointed out, right? And then you have an instance in Acts where they run into somebody called the Son of Jesus, Bar Jesus. They 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 call him a false prophet, Bar Jesus. His name is Bar Jesus, and it goes down and then they call other people false prophets or whatever. But it's like you have the instance where the Da Vinci Code comes into question, like the Da Vinci Code, you know, like the whole thing, yeah, because the the Da Vinci Code in itself is like a revelation to the world. Like, it has a lot to do with the Vatican. The Vatican wouldn't let nobody just run all up through their stuff if they wasn't trying to tell a story from the Vatican. The Vatican was trying to tell a story with the Da Vinci Code. Um, and also with the other Vatican movie, Angels and Demons. Like, bro, I watch Angels and Demons this day. Like, you can watch Angels and Demons today, and you will be blown away, right? Because in Angels and Demons, like, the only thing that you can perceive as the demon is the church. So you have the Black Pope. The Black Pope was trying to do a lot of evil and things like that, and it was killing people around the church. But on the other side, who's the angels? Because they showed the particle collider, and it wasn't just any particle collider. It's CERN's particle collider, the particle collider at CERN. So I was not knowing. I did not know, like, when Angels and Demons came out, anything about no particle collider. I thought it was just a movie. You know, it's just a movie, right? It's just another movie. Didn't know anything about no particle collider. Didn't know anything, like, all of the implications at the time that the movie came out. CERN had only discovered antimatter. That was the only discovery CERN had made at the time. CERN has went on to discover what has been called um, the Higgs boson. So I guess that's what comes from antimatter or something like that. Or I think the antimatter was before, and then they discovered the Higgs boson, and then that's whenever they discovered the God particle. And then they turned on the particle collider a couple of years ago, like 2-3 years ago, and then they discovered another particle that they call the ghost particle. And what this ghost particle does, this ghost particle is almost like a hand just throwing around other particles, and then it's like they were talking about this in Angels and Demons. And when they start talking more about what the implications is about them going into these particles, because there was already implications whenever they were trying to divide hydrogen, and the hydrogen has the potential to destroy the whole world. but they're splitting. They're going into particles, and then it can annihilate the whole universe. And it can destroy a universe. It would destroy a universe, and you wouldn't even know about it because it's the potentiality. Whenever you use in science and all of this this particle physics, when you look at particle physics, it's about potentiality, potentials, the potentials of things, and this is how they get into, like, this universal thing, this multidimensional thing. The multidimensional theory comes from you scientists at CERN. Another crazy thing about CERN. Now, everybody, like another crazy thing, we wouldn't have the World Wide Web if it wasn't for CERN. CERN came out with the World Wide Web. So applaud CERN. They created this thing that we all are connecting each other with today. While we get all of this information, they came out with this. But I think with the potentiality that you have the ability to destroy the universe multiple times trying to discover things. Like every time you're dismantling the material. You're dismantling the material of this world. It's crazy. Like every time that they turn it on, they have the potential to create a black hole. They just start swallowing up everything. TD Jakes moment. Swallowed up, swallowed up, swallowed, swallowed up. We get swallowed up by a black hole that's created by CERN. You know, CERN got the 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 Hindu god of destruction as a statue. When we talk about idols and idol worship, they got an idol of Shiva. Shiva, the god of destruction, doing the dance of destruction. So that's what y'all saying, that y'all doing a dance of destruction. Now that comes into some more divination, right? How many steps is in the dance of destruction for Shiva? How many steps does it take for Shiva to get done with the dance of destruction? Because they can only turn on the particle collider X amount of times before they meet Shiva, before they meet destruction. But these people are a lot smarter than I am. I don't know the first thing about creating no particle collider. Do I want to? Like, no, not really. That shit. Dude stuck his head in a particle collider, and like, it's really a sad story. I shouldn't be laughing, but like, he messed himself up for sure. He didn't die like like instantly. Oh man, that's a terrible death. It's a very terrible death. Don't walk inside of no particle collider, bro. You're not. Dude, it blew a hole through his head, and he was walking around and stuff like that. Man, that stuff like basically like it imploded that man. That man imploded. It's bad. That's some strong shit. It's so small. You won't even like. Nah, I'm okay. Damn, it's so small. You think that thing just went right through you. Little did you know that it already that you done already met your end. That's the thing about these particles, bro. Like, oh, it just went right through me. You don't even know that it's already over, bro. That's the fucked up thing about this, and that's what they're playing with. How many steps can you take? And I'm laughing so much because, like, damn, it's really in a movie. People not gonna sit. People don't talk about it. You don't hear nobody, none of these woke people talking about that movie in particular. That that's the closest thing to reality that nigga. they talking about, they say angels and demons, and this thing is close to reality. This thing is, it's some weird stuff. Yeah, like it's a weird thing, right? The make believe thing was whenever, you know, everything that was going on with the priesthood and the Vatican, right? That all that was make believe. They will never show you the real. You know what I'm saying? They will never show you the real them. Uh, Everything dealing with CERN was real. Everything dealing with CERN was real. Um, and that's what worries me about people that's smarter than me, right? Is what they do in the display of how smart they are. They're so smart. They're so smart. And then whenever they go to make fun of dumb people, the people that they see as dumb, the things that they do, right? They openly just do overt acts, overt things like, okay, yeah, we're smarter than you, so we're gonna be over here. Yeah, we're gonna have a festival for Baal. Oh yeah, we're gonna have a Bow festival. We're gonna create. We're smarter than people, so we're gonna create a luxury brand called Balenciaga and have everybody trying to chase for Bow. They're smarter than everybody. Yeah, we read the Hindu book, and we choose to put the Hindu god of destruction. We choose to put a so basically what they're saying, we choose to put Satan, the image of Satan, right right there where bro, the fate of the whole universe rests right there in Geneva, Switzerland. You know, and that's the house of Satan. Geneva, Switzerland is the house of Satan. That's what the devil. That's the devil's stomping ground. You know, and it'd be crazy. You go to the Netherlands and you go to those places like Sweden and things like that. A lot of things start becoming like, damn, I don't like y'all anyway. You know, every year every year for Christmas, they go to paint themselves black. They paint themselves black, and then they got a they got a they got a horn demon. They got a horn demon. So they got the black people. They blackface. They do blackface, and then they put on curly wigs, like symbolizing black people hair, and then they dress up like clowns. And then they got Krampus, Satan, and they're walking around with that. And Krampus goes out and punish all the little children. That's some dark stuff. And then Santa Claus is the magician. Santa Claus is the magician. You know, so the elves is the little black people. The black people are the little elves. You know, and Santa's workshop, the little black elves and Santa's workshop. Bro, did I just stumble up on a conspiracy theory? Yo, I just stumbled up on a conspiracy theory. Conspiracy theory, right? Like, so symbolism, right? Santa's helpers. Santa's helpers. Put this in the pudding, so somebody needs to give me an explanation of this stuff, you know, because it be right there in our face. You know, uh, do do any of those elves, Santa's little helpers, ever get to ride in a sleigh with Santa? You know, that's really the first conspiracy theory right there that we really exposed to as a people. That's like one of the biggest conspiracy theories in the world. Why is Santa a thing? Right? Old Saint Nick. Oh my God. Why? Who? What happened with that? We need a little bit. That needs to be expanded upon. The symbolism. Not like, you know, they they try to give us feed us the over here in America for some reason. The symbolism is uh the elves wearing green, white, white, and red with pointed ears and things like that. But when you see it like they festivals and things like that, you get blackface and Krampus and the kidnapping of children. You get a weird thing over there. Yeah, no, yeah, we wanna blame people from London and things like that about slavery and things like that, but in real aspects of things, the Dutch the Dutch were, you know, most definitely those folks that we need to be seeking retribution from. hmm it's just a case of being where you implement yourself. You know, the funding for ships is a something. You know, like, I just keep talking. I keep talking, keep talking. You know, angels and demons. You know, somebody that I admire, that I've been admiring over the last couple of months is Geno Jennings. Oh, I've been watching his videos, and one of the things that he stands on is this: one God. Is there anybody up there with him? No. There's one God. Leave that to your understanding. There's one God. Anytime that we see an alien or something like that, that's not God. You're not God. You're not a you know. Now I'm gonna keep on talking. Just because somebody look human don't mean that they're human. You gotta stay. Look, that's where woke never gonna go broke. Robots in real time. Look, robots in real time, man. Talk about nanobots. Like I could send like little particles into your body, man. I can activate dopamine. I can activate serotonin. I can control you if I send the right type of frequency to you, and we target this frequency in certain key areas of the brain. Maybe on, you know, I could go all the way from 7 hertz all the way to 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 33 hertz. You know, if I'm trying to keep everybody in a low vibrational thing, yeah, I wouldn't raise up the vibration to no 32 degrees, 33 hertz. I wouldn't do that. That's a high thing. That's the secret, right? It's a secret. The key of the universe is 369, right? Threes, please. Three times three is nine. Three plus three is six. You understand? So you tap in with everything vibrates. Everything vibrates. Everything has a sound. The brain thinks in a certain wave tone. The genius frequency is 33. The activation of a higher thought, 33. So how did I arrive at that point? I'm a curious individual. I seek answers, right? The when Skynet, my first introduction to Skynet, within the first couple of days, you know, I had a fundamental question. My fundamental question, what I was seeking, what is the frequency of genius thought? And you know, the frequency of genius thought is 33. It's a function of gamma waves. It's gamma waves. So you have alpha, beta, uh, delta waves, and you have gamma rays. It's a function on the gamma ray wave thing, and that's what enhances like the genius thought. You know, it's a subtle introduction to this frequency, but you need it when you function on a genius level of thought. It's a explosion. So you resonate on that. Your brain resonates on that. Your thought pattern will be resonant on the 33 hertz. When so when you really start working with the thing, with understanding the frequency, you you have what's called ghost frequencies that is created. So in the left ear, if you're listening to one frequency in one ear, and then you have another frequency in the other ear, it will in the middle of the skull, it will create a certain tune. So if you want to keep it within that range, to where you would have that that echoing of that 33 hertz. You know what I'm saying? Um, as far as 33 hertz, right? You'll find that it has more of a tone. Like it's what lower tones are good for, or lower hertz frequencies are really good for. That I found lower frequencies are good for, like, you can, if you have a speaker, right, and then you put the frequency, a low frequency, onto the speaker, and you move it throughout your body. It's almost like a massage. You understand? Like, so it's almost like a massage. You can apply this frequency to places, and almost like a massage. I love it's real stuff. I feel very good after I find, it's you, and you can adjust the frequency as needed. You know, um, yeah, it's a whole sequence. So this whole tone thing is it's really really good. So I probably need to cut out. Uh, I've enjoyed this talk, man. I feel like that I said that all that there is to say until the next episode. It's been awesome.